This is a WCBI First Alert Severe Weather Update.
All right, folks, we are back. Why? Well, we have a new tornado warning. This is the storm that we thought we were going to get a break on, but we now have a tornado warning now issued for Monroe County. This goes until 11:45. It's right up here near Hamilton. There's the circulation right here. Alex, this looks pretty significant. We got a TDS. All right, so this thing is spun up near Hamilton. TDS right there.
Yeah, right next to New Hamilton, TDS. This is right along Highway 45, and this is going to continue to push off to the north and east. If you're watching us in Hamilton or New Hamilton, we need you in your tornado-safe place. Tornado now down, doing damage, and this is a storm. We talked about this before we went to break. Again, we lost the tornado warning for a couple of minutes. We talked about things can spin up really fast, and we talked about these things. This particular storm has a history of producing a decent amount of damage. This thing has produced a significant amount of damage in Oktibbeha County, and we now have another tornado down near the community of New Hamilton, just west of Hamilton, moving north and east. This is going to continue to push north and east.
And it looks like it's going to be heading right towards Greenwood Springs, the radar site right up here, and that would be by 11:24.
Yep, that's over at State Highway 8, and Highway 278 is where that radar is located right there, and that'll be the track for this thing. So if you know where the radar is, over in Monroe County.
Right up McDuffie Cemetery Road right here, Hamilton, New Hamilton right there. So there it is. There's the circulation.
I want to point out this does not impact Aberdeen. This does not impact Amory. This is east of there. This is the eastern side of the county. So this is going to be for Hamilton, Westville, Mormon Springs, Quincy, and Smithville. You're technically in this warning. This may pass east of you, but as we've been talking about, these things have taken left turns from time to time. So your tornado is back down here, basically in the southeastern corner of the county near Hamilton.
And Alex, per the Weather Service, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado as we are looking at that debris signature in their statement moving north at 50. So very quick, we ramped this up. And there's your debris signature right there.
Oh, man.
It's really ramping on up there northeast of Hamilton right now.
Yeah, that's it. And when you start seeing those deep blues like that.
Basically, if you live north of Hamilton, there's right here, that's Cockerham Road, Collins Road. I'm just going to illustrate these right here. So Cockerham Road is right here. Here's Collins Lane, I do believe. And this is McDuffie Cemetery Road right here. So right there, northeast of Hamilton and New Hamilton, be in your safe zone, your tornado safe zone right now. This thing has ramped on up. This is the best radar signature we've had so far today. It's closest to the radar site too, so we are sampling very low within the storm. And there it is. It is going east of 45. This is going to stay east of Aberdeen. But if you live up here near Westville, west of Mormon Springs, east of Lackey, these areas in Monroe County, look at that debris signature, Alex. That's dark blue.
And Keith, I just sort of
is this our debris ball right here?
Yeah. I just slid off screen for a second. This is the most concerning signature of the night so far. This looks actually, based on what we're looking at with the velocity and the debris signature, considerably worse than what was in Oktibbeha County a while ago.
Very much so.
There is a high probability here that this is a strong tornado.
And you
high
can see
probability.
The updated scan right here. It looks like we do have a debris ball type signature near McDuffie Cemetery Road, Grub Springs Road, somewhere right up in here. It's moving. It's racing here, folks, at 50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And there it is. That's our supercell storm swirling around, and that is our debris ball signature right there, right here, east of 45 north of Hamilton. And this is a serious situation. Dark blue dot bullseye debris, and that is a serious signature. We do not want to see that. Again, we are back on the air, tornado warning until 11:45. This is pulling away from Hamilton. It looks like if you are in Hamilton now, the worst has passed. But downstream here, let's just go through a couple of roads. Again, McDuffie Cemetery Road and Lackey Road, Bartahatchee Road, Coates Road, Old Hamilton Road. These areas downstream from that debris signature right here. Just imagine how fast your car can go at 50 miles per hour. this tornado's tracking at 50 miles per hour here, folks. So at highway speeds, we're going to get this pretty close to these areas near Westville and Mormon Springs. Now, be in your tornado safe zone, your basement storm shelters, interior rooms away from windows. The other thing those of us in the weather community were worried about is the radar site is right here. That tornado is going right for the radar site, and let's just hope we don't lose the radar.
Keith, I just wanted to point out, I was doing something here. You saw me scroll off for just a second. I want to show you what we've got here. I'm going to do something. I want to point out when I pixel query this, it doesn't mean that's the winds in the tornado, but this is looking up quite a ways. But those are very, very, very strong returns. When we know there's a tornado down and we have numbers like this, we can go back and look at previous storms that have signatures like this. The vast majority of them produce violent tornadoes.
And here's another thing on that same logic there. This is our wind shear rate, and when we have this look like these S's, this is a classic signature of a potential serious tornado situation. This thing ramped up just like that, and boy, I tell you what, areas northeast of Hamilton right there along McDuffie Cemetery Road, this is the most serious radar imagery we've had so far tonight.
Yeah, if you're watching us on Old Hamilton Road, Bartahatchee Road, Murph Road, Guin Road, and State Highway 8 towards Westville, we need you in your tornado safe place right now.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, we don't want to scare you here, but you have got to take this seriously and respect this one. This is a life-threatening situation.
And again, we'll do another track here. The National Weather Service, again, large, extremely dangerous tornado, 8 miles northwest of Caledonia. We're showing it right now, moving to the north at 35. I tracked this out at about 50. I'm going to redo that track, but you can see the general gist here. Quincy, Mormon Springs, these areas to the northeast, about 35 miles per hour on this. So Greenwood Springs by 11:30, Quincy by 11:30, Hatley by 11:37, in and around there, may say just to your east, and the Splunge community by 11:40. So that right there, folks, east of Lackey, most likely a large and destructive tornado situation. We've got the debris ball right there showing up in the pink. It is right there going up McDuffie Cemetery Road here in Monroe County. So we want you to know we have pretty good evidence here that there is a dangerous tornado situation developing right there. And I keep saying McDuffie Cemetery Road. There's the signature going right up there towards Westville. There's Highway 8. So heads up right now here in Monroe County. And we haven't seen a signature like this, Alex, since the Columbus tornado we had back in February.
Honestly, this looks significantly stronger than that.
And there's our
TDS. The signature
TDS.
looks stronger.
And
We've got the TDS skit here. Again, we know that's going on. That is a very, very, very concerning look. And again, this thing is headed right for the radar site. So Westville, Quincy, Greenwood Springs, Mormon Springs. If you're in one of those communities, you have got to get in a tornado-safe place right now. Basement, storm shelter, lowest floor of your home, away from doors and windows. Again, this is a very, very concerning situation. Keith, you mentioned this morning the potential for a strong tornado. This is it.
This is going to be well, unless something else doesn't happen in the next hour and a half, this is going to be the worst of the day.
This is that we have we don't have any damage reports in yet. We have incredibly high confidence that this is a strong, potentially violent tornado in Monroe County, in the eastern side of the county. This is going to approach State Highway 8, and it's going to approach Highway 278, I believe, yes, Highway 278. And this is going to be approaching Westville, Quincy, Greenwood Springs. Even if you're way over here towards Mormon Springs, give this thing a wide berth. Okay, this is a very, very, we don't talk like this often here. We don't. We purposefully don't, because we don't want you to mistake when we're talking like this. This is a very serious situation. And again, that is likely a very strong, potentially violent tornado. And again, Keith, as you're saying, we are concerned. The radar site is right in the path here. We could lose it.
We're concerned about the radar site. We're concerned about folks in Westville right now. We are concerned about all of you in Monroe County, here east of Lackey near Athens, right along Highway 8. between Lackey and Gapman, Greenwood Springs. Again, our debris ball signature right here. This is a confirmed large destructive tornado situation developing 11/17 on our Saturday night. Again, a very serious situation. It is moving to the northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Our TDS swath shows you where we've had at least some debris detected over the last couple of minutes here that goes down towards Hamilton, where this thing really ramped on up. And as I toggle on our little orange arrow here, we're getting this BTI value of 7.7 pushing 8, which is extremely high. This is very good evidence that we are getting a very or potentially strong tornado on the ground right now. And this is a serious situation. So again, tornado warning, Monroe County, 11:45. Let's go back in, and I'm going to turn some of this stuff off.
Weather Service has added the particularly dangerous situation tag to the tornado warning. I want to
TDS
point something
tornado.
out. As we get closer to this radar site, this may not look as impressive. We are still very concerned that this is still a strong to violent tornado. It doesn't look maybe quite as bright as intense as it did a few minutes ago. But as you get closer to radar sites, some different things happen with the winds, and you can sometimes lose the really bright, tight signature. And that may be what's happening here, but we still have very strong indication that we still have a tornado ongoing near Lackey Road, Murph Road, Old Hamilton Road, approaching State Highway 8 near Westville. If you are in that community, we need you in your safe place now. It's on top of you. This is going to continue to push to the north and east towards Quincy, Greenwood, and Greenwood Springs. So if you're watching us on Athens Quincy Road, Boyd Lane, Highway 278, Riley Road, Sarter Road, Greenwood Springs Road, we need you in your tornado safe place. Old Highway 6 is right here. We need you in your safe place. The radar site is at Greenwood Springs and Wise Gap right here. And your tornado is right here.
Yeah, and this thing looks like it may be cycling just a little bit and jaunting back to the west just a tad. So it may be trying to reorganize itself. It's still a deadly situation here, and we will continue to follow this. Jacob, just chime in wherever you're at. We'll keep doing our radar thing here, but what do you see in your vicinity?
Hey, Keith, we are driving on 82 east towards Columbus. We're going to head north and check out that area that was likely impacted from that storm. And as we're watching here, one of the things I want to remind viewers is some of the damage that has already happened tonight. So this is a situation where the storms are wrapped in rain and likely hard to see, and it's something that we have to monitor. The radar is going to tell the picture and the story best. It's not until after the tornadoes come through that we're able to see that there's damage. We had damage in Matheson, we had damage in Starkville, and it's likely that we have damage in Monroe County, but we have not heard anything yet. It's going to take some time. So folks that are in Hamilton, heading up towards the Quincy area, really in Monroe County, do the emergency crews a favor, let them get to the scenes they need to, especially with all of this rain that is following the storm and continuing the area. So stay home, stay with us. We've got your back. We continue to bring you coverage from the studio and in the field, reporting in Lowndes County, heading towards Monroe County. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, and we're going to continue watching this here. There's also we got a new tornado warning for Lowndes and Noxubee County. That is with the storm cell down here south of Macon. All right, so this is a new storm that we're dealing with. There it is. That goes until 11:45 down near Sugarlock here is where we have some possible rotation be detected. So this is a storm moving to the northeast. They say at 70 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. Don't know if it's moving that fast, but that's what the statement says. But again, so we have two tornado warnings now, the most serious of which has been this one up here in Monroe County, where we still have this tight signature here, getting very close to the radar site, so we're losing some clarity. That's one of the trade-offs here. We just hope everybody up here in Monroe County, you're safe. You're in your tornado safe zone as this thing has been moving towards and through Westville, heads up in Quincy, Wise Gap, Greenwood Springs, where the radar site's located, Highway 8, West Road, Boyd Lane, Athens Quincy Road. These areas up here, downstream from this couplet that is still at last scan near Westville. All right? So that is what we're dealing with here. And real quick, I'm going to do a storm track for a southern storm. Again, this cell moving to the northeast at about, I'm just going to track this at 60. We can hear the tornado sirens in Columbus. This warning does not include Columbus, okay? This tornado warning does not include Columbus, but sirens are going off here. I can hear them outside downtown Columbus, but it does not include Columbus. Macon by 11:30, Cliftonville 11:41, Bigby Valley by 11:44. New tornado warning for this area down near Sugarlock here, right here, is where we have some rotation being detected. And again, it seems like we always have a storm that produces something down here in southeastern Monroe County. I don't care what storm it is, what day it is. It seems like we always have a problem here in Monroe, or in Noxubee County, and we're getting one here right now. So that could be the next one that's going to be spinning on up. And we still have the Monroe County tornado that...
It's crossed State Highway 8 now, it looks like.
Okay, so crossing Highway 8 looks like it may stay just to the west of our radar site, which is right here. If you're ever up there at Highway 8 and 278, you can see that big thing that looks like a golf ball. That's the Doppler radar, and that's what is detecting this. In that area right there, that's the cone of silence. You get too close to the radar, you can't see what's happening. But we can track the tornado potential still right there near Westville. And let's go back down to Noxubee County. Let's clear this. This is...
in Noxubee and Lowndes County, that has now been given the observed tag in the reading there on the warning. It says at 11:24, confirmed tornado was located near Porterville or 11 miles northeast of Meridian Station, and they have slowed that down to the northeast there at 40 miles an hour. So there is a confirmed tornado with this
Is that going to be...
We have 3 tornado warnings on that line. Which one is that?
That is the Kemper County storm.
Okay.
Kemper County,
Kemper
yeah,
County
there's
storm, yes.
a TDS there.
This is not the Noxubee Lowndes
So,
County storm. This is the Kemper County storm.
Let's just broaden this up a little bit. Right now, as of 11:25, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tornado warnings right along this line from Greenwood Springs all the way down to southeastern Meridian, right along the state line. So all of these are producing rotating storms here as they chug close to the Mississippi border. The one you were talking about, Kemper County, they had the TDS, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can see that southeast of DeKalb. All right, so we don't see that yet. This is what Jacob Riley was just describing right here. That is in Kemper County. That is a possible tornado that has been occurring or still is occurring. We don't necessarily see that here yet in our imagery that we can clearly discern in Noxubee County. We're still getting a circulation between Macon and Sugarlock here.
Keith, if
Yeah.
we can, I want to bounce back up to this
Go
Monroe
ahead,
County
take it.
storm. This thing's still down, and I want folks to understand that. We talked
go
about
over
it
to Alex.
cycling. It's still on the ground at this point. Yeah, if we can go back
Go
over
over to
to
Alex,
me.
please.
Again, go ahead and pull my source up. There we go. That's it right there. That is Cross West Road. This is approaching Quincy. If you're watching us in Quincy, we need you in your tornado safe place. This is Athens Quincy Road right here. This is Boyd Lane. This thing is coming right up through there towards Quincy. It is going to cross 278 somewhere in here. Our radar site is here. This is Wise Gap and Greenwood Springs. The tornado is here just to the south and west of the radar site. That is still on the ground. That is still doing damage at this point. You see that little ball of purple right there? That is your tornado debris. That's still being lofted in the air. We still have high confidence that this is a strong to violent tornado moving through Monroe County right now. And again, we don't talk like this often. We reserve this for the big ones, and this looks like a big one. Moving north of West Road through over towards Boyd Lane right now. Quincy sits right here. That is your tornado right there. That's it. That circulation is your tornado, and that's continuing to lift off to the north at this point. So ultimately, if you're watching us up towards Bristow, Hatley, Splunge, you need to start thinking about getting your tornado safe place right now. And ultimately, I do want to point out this warning does include Itawamba County as well, the southeastern corner. This doesn't include Tremont or Fulton, though. Still south of you. Eventually, it could include Tremont. We'll see how things go and if this thing maintains itself. But right now, this is still a very dangerous situation. And Keith, I think we've got a new tornado. This thing is cycled, and we've got a new tornado north and east of the radar. This is approaching Splunge.
Yes, yep.
So what we've got going on right now, your old tornado is down here approaching Quincy. We need you in your safe place in Quincy. New tornado approaching Splunge. And you can see here.
It's cycled right over the radar site.
Yep, right over the radar site. That right there, the rain's wrapping back around. That is your tornado. And that is a classic look.
That's it.
At this point. That's your hook. There is a second tornado back in here. Usually, this one will eventually die out. Now, this is a pretty strong tornado. It may take it another 10, 15 minutes to die out, but it's doing it. And we've got another one up here. This is near Brown-Taylor Road. Splunge sits right here. This is going to be over towards Sipsey Fork Road. This is going to be near Land Cemetery Road, Greenwright Drive, Hatley Detroit Road, Sipsey Fork Road, and Splunge Road. We need you in your safe place right now. Again, this is just north of Old Highway 6, and again, this is probably closer to right here now because that radar image came in about a minute ago. But again, that is another tornado doing damage, and again, you see a signature like that. Again, high likelihood that this is a strong tornado. High likelihood that is the case. It's continuing to move off to the north and east. By the way, going to point out, if you're watching us over into Detroit, no warning yet, we're going to have to see if this takes more of an eastward turn. It might clip northwestern Lamar County. If not, it'll stay just west of there, and it looks like it's going to stay more northward. So you can actually see both tornadoes right now. That's the tornado that initially prompted this warning. It is likely still down north and east of Quincy. This is Old Highway 6. It's going to cross Old Highway 6. This is still on the ground. This is the new one. This is also on the ground, about to cross, or crossing right now, Land Cemetery Road near the community of Splunge. That is also moving north and east towards Bethlehem Road, Hatley Detroit Road, Bentonite Road, Greenwright Drive, Patterson Road, and this is ultimately going to go towards Riggins. If you're watching us in Riggins, we need you in your safe place.
And I'm just going to say, this is a massive storm complex right now. We've got two ongoing, what looks to be two ongoing tornadoes right now here in Monroe County. We've got your debris ball signature right there. That is it. And that is right along the, I can't even read that right there. It's Land Cemetery Road, just west of Splunge by a couple of miles here, literally 2 miles or less. That's our debris ball number one. And then we've got our other ongoing circulation basically just to the northeast of Quincy right now. Jacob Riley, take it away.
Hey Keith, yeah, getting reports in now to the newsroom out of Monroe County near the Hamilton area. We have trees down, power poles down. We have had at least one house damage. There was a vehicle accident as well with injuries, all of that related to that confirmed tornado that we had move through the area. And that's what you have on radar right now, Keith, that has cycled just to the northeast of our radar site. Yeah, so it looks like the radar has survived. The storm has recycled. We've got this debris ball again, one of which is just to the west of Splunge, that area right there. Wow, this is a very impressive storm. So there's circulation one. This is circulation two. We still have the other circulations. These are confirmed, by the way. I can't forget that we are still watching this broad area of rotation near Macon. This, as of right now, just Doppler radar indicated, but it's moving just to the southeast of Macon. So it should stay east of 45. We're not forgetting about you right now, but we have a much more serious situation with confirmed damage up here in the northeastern part of Monroe County. It looks like we may be losing the original signature there, Alex, but the new one taken over.
Keith, I just did some, I just crunched some numbers over on my personal laptop here with a tool that we've sort of, that's sort of been adapted on some personal software I've got from the Storm Prediction Center. When you get a circulation like this with a confirmed tornado, about 7 out of 10 times, It is a strong to violent tornado. We're talking, and I would be a little more confident than that personally, with a look like what we've got here. Very high likelihood. We basically tell you this thing is at least strong, closer to that EF3, EF4, EF5 kind of range here. Maybe not quite that strong, but we know that this thing is going to do considerable damage.
Well,
we know that this thing's going to do considerable damage as it moves northeast, so please take this thing seriously.
And let's go to our shear rate here. You can see the center of that circulation here, just in the northwest of Splunge, on Greenwright Drive, right here. And this thing is spinning pretty fast, and there could be some fast-moving wind on the downside of that, the eastern side of it. And that could all be funneling back on into this thing too. So there's our debris signature here, and this is racing to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour here. It's 55. So let me do a quick storm track for you. Let me show you where we have that circulation. And this is moving to the northeast at about 55. Just draw it right here. And this is going to put it in these communities here. Riggins by 11:38, in and around Riggins, New Salem by 11:44. If this thing does hold together, it's going to cross the county line, get to Tremont by 11:52. And that's 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes here. It's racing. Racing at highway speeds. So this is a serious situation here, folks. It's at night, you can't see it. We have evidence that this thing is large, has been large, violent, destructive, and it could still be in that same state right now. And this is a very impressive thing. We can show you the debris swath track here as we've gone throughout the last hour, and you can see how it ramped up near Hamilton, and it's still with us as it continues to be northwest of Splunge. So this, at this point, just chime in if there's some new information with these new warnings coming on in. I just wanted to TDS swath here. So
I've never seen one quite that impressive.
as of right now, this thing is like 20 miles long. So, I mean, this is one of the biggest swaths we've actually been able to display on radar. So, not to say it was on the ground for 20 miles, but this could be a significant event once we go to analyze the damage here. And
Well,
we still have, sticking out like a sore thumb, Alex, you've got the couplet there.
Well, and I was going to say that
And the debris ball here.
that TDS swath product does not pick up on every TDS.
It does
It
not.
picks up on the big ones, and I've never seen one look quite that impressive. That's a concern.
And it's going to stay perhaps just west of Riggins. Right now, this is southwest of Riggins, just a handful of miles, but it's moving at 50 miles per hour. Let's just assume it's, probably here now. So if you're up on Pierce Chapel Road, Stafford Road, right there's our update. You can see how fast it's moving. So you just need to be in your safe zone right now.
And I'll say, moving forward here, if you're watching us over towards Tremont, you're not in a warning yet. You very well may be, you likely will be here within the next few minutes as this thing continues to race north. So, Jacob Riley, you've got some more information for us?
Yeah, there, Alex. Just a quick update, just a quick reminder. As soon as these tornado warnings expire for a location, flash flood watch is pretty much being issued right after it. There's substantial flooding going on in Starkville right now. There's reports of water coming up to the apartments in the Highlands. So just really, if you are getting out and about, I strongly advise you not to do that. There's a lot of water on the roads. There is a lot of flash flooding going on. So you need to stay at your home, stay in your safe place if you are under these warnings. But again, just a quick reminder that heavy rainfall is occurring across the entire area tonight.
Indeed. So we've got the tornadoes, we've got the heavy rain. We probably have another hour or two to get all of this out of here, and then we can go about our business. But if you don't have to be out tonight, don't. Just let these storms roll on through. Wake up tomorrow morning and you see what you got. Right now, though, we do know that we have a couple of tornado warnings. Let's go back down to Noxubee County. Again, this is a warning that goes until 11:45. We're not forgetting about you down here, but right now it looks like this circulation is relatively broad, and we have no imminent signs that there's been anything confirmed down here unless we can get some new information. That's certainly good news. We just have a whole host of storms. Now, the one down here near Scuba, This looks a little bit more impressive, and that is scooting to the northeast. So heads up southwestern Pickens County, Alabama. That's crossing the state line as we speak, but that has a little bit better of a circulation with it. All right, let's go back to our Monroe County significant situation near Riggins right here. There's our wind velocity over Towery Road right now, nearing Pierce Chapel Road, perhaps on it right now. Jackson Road, the county line, Itawamba County line right here. This is a very serious situation. You can see the updated scan right there near Pierce Chapel Road and Stafford Road. Let's go to our shear rate, and it's a little bit of a delayed product, but we still have that classic red, orange. That correlates to very high. There's the update. It looks just like it's swirling around. We've got inflow coming on into this thing. It is a big deal. Tornado warning continues. Considerable threat here. Extremely dangerous tornado moving north at 50 miles per hour. All right, folks, this is the real deal. When we talk about nighttime tornadoes, when we talk about tornadoes in general, being prepared is going to make all the difference in the world. Right now, if you are prepared, you are in your safe zone right now, and you are riding this thing out. Looking downstream, we have State Line Road, we have areas east of Highway 23, there's the Academy area right here, and there's Tremont. Notice that right there. Tremont is in the path of this circulation. Tremont, you are 11 miles, give or take, south or north of the circulation center right now. The storm is moving north rapidly at 50 miles per hour, and if it holds together, it could be affecting you very, very soon. So just a heads up here, let's do another storm track. If this thing is moving north at 50, we can time this out more or less in Tremont by 11:55, if not sooner than that, all right? So that is what we are dealing with here on our Saturday evening. Very strong signature, mixing with all of this red. We've got a rain-wrapped tornado ongoing here, and it's just a horrible situation when we have this at night, Alex.
Keith, I wanted to add something that I'm noticing here. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for northwest Lamar, western Marion County. This will include Detroit and Hamilton. The reason we're getting that is this right in here. That is the rear flank downdraft on this thing. Really strong winds that surge in the back edge of the storm and the back edge of the circulation. That's surging out. If you're watching us in Detroit, Byrd, Barnesville, Bexar, this is moving your direction. Likely not tornadic, but really strong straight line winds with this as it pushes north and east. This is the kind of winds that would cause some damage. So take that into account. This is going to cross State Highway 17. This will impact Interstate 22 back into Marion County. You may know it as Corridor X back over there. Want to keep that in mind as well. Obviously, our main concern is the tornado. I will say, and by the way, new tornado warning for Marion County. So the Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a warning for Marion County. That's going to be for areas west of Hamilton. So that doesn't include Hamilton, does not include Hackleburg or anywhere like that. It's the far western edge of the county. And we do have a new tornado warning for Itawamba and southern Tishomingo counties as well, Keith.
And
so
we also have extended out is a new tornado warning for Pickens County, the entire county, for the storm in Kemper County that is moving to the northeast at 50, confirmed extremely dangerous tornado associated with this for the National Weather Service. And that was passing near Scuba. So that is moving to the northeast here. Let me go switch and get the latest information here. Moving northeast at 60. We just have a whole host of problems here, folks. Get through the next hour or two. We'll be home free. But this storm over here moving into parts of West Alabama, I'm going to just do a track on this real quick. Northeast at 60 is what they're saying. And that's going to take it near Aliceville by 12:03. And perhaps Pickensville by 12:05. It is 11:42, so in about 20 minutes or so, we may have a tornadic storm rumbling your way into western Pickens County, Alabama. All right, so that is a tornado warning that goes until 12:45 as the storm is slipping across the state line. You may be wondering, well, what about the storm in Noxubee and Lowndes County? All right, we have the circulation here that is still relatively unorganized. Thank the Lord at this point here in Lowndes County and Noxubee County, where it doesn't look to be too terribly organized. Let's go to meteorologist Jacob Dickey. He's here in Columbus.
Hey, Keith. Yeah, I just wanted to take some time to remind our viewers of some of the resources that are online, especially with these tornadoes coming through. We've got our storm shelter list that's on our website, WCBI.com. You can also access that from your WCBI mobile app. And so if, Pickens County under that tornado warning now, eventually Lowndes County, and that other tornado that's now moving into Itawamba County and Marion County, Alabama, those are some great resources that you can use here in those minutes and hours before perhaps that storm comes in your neighborhood and find out things. We also got our live coverage online, of course, and we are keeping track of things with our live radar. Our website's got a lot of great resources. We are on the radio stations also, so if you lose power or something of that sort, the old-fashioned radio will pick us up on some of those stations there. And then finally, of course, we're doing Facebook Live and right here on TV. So we've got you covered. There's a lot of resources that are there for you. Residents in Columbus, of course, there's some shelters, again, open in the county. According to EMA Director Cindy Lawrence, we talked to her earlier today. There was the one in the Career Tech Center here in Columbus. That's on Lemberg Road. There's one up in, I believe, New Hope High School, and then it was up in Caledonia Elementary School. So those three shelters will likely be open here if this storm continues on its track. And we'll be out here in the field watching things. Of course, that storm to the north still having that confirmed damage to Monroe County, and watching these storms to the south now come in through Noxubee County and Pickens County, Alabama. Reporting in East Columbus, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Jacob, thanks. And just some news here with the storm up here that is in Itawamba County. We've been following this. This has been the big deal. Cycling a little bit. We've lost that classic gate-to-gate shear a little bit. That couplet is not as defined as what it had been. So the storm may be cycling through a process. We did that before. We got another tornado to develop. It could be doing the same thing. We may have a little bit of a lull before we have another one to develop and spin up. So having said that, the National Weather Service in Memphis has extended the tornado warning for the rest of Itawamba County. That does include Tremont, Oakland, Eastman, and even into parts of southern Tishomingo. That goes all the way up here until 12:15 because of that circulation near the Academy community. And Alex, you were mentioning the National Weather Service in Birmingham issuing this for western Marion County to hedge the bet that we could see some recycling there.
Yeah, they're issuing that warning. That I talked about that RFD, that rear flank downdraft. Sometimes you can see reforming on that, so that's sort of why they're hedging their bet. We've seen what this storm can do in Monroe County. They're going to give this thing all the respect it deserves. I don't have any problem with that warning. And if you're watching us in western Marion County, basically this warning is going to go as far northeast as Pig Eye, Scottsville, Bexar, Weston, Byrd. We want you in your tornado safe place because these things have spun up quickly. Wanted to point out, Keith, as you've mentioned, this may be sort of cycling down. We don't have the strong circulation at this point. Something to keep in mind, this was a strong tornado. We still have tornado debris showing up here. This thing could spin up really quickly again, but even if you're watching us over towards Tremont Academy, keep in mind that we may see some debris fall as this moves northeast, and I think we're having some technical difficulties here
We've got
right now.
We got a big storm in Columbus right now.
Yeah. So are we still on air? Yes. Okay, we're still on air, so that's good. Hopefully we're still running at 100%.
News isn't going up there.
So again, the reason for that is we just got, this is not a severe storm, but it's given us some problems here in Lowndes County. Keith, it looks like they dropped the tornado warning for Noxubee and Lowndes.
Okay, good. So we're done with that storm. It looks like that never really could classically organize. So that storm, though, is still moving into Pickens County across the state line, and that's the one that had the confirmed tornado down there in Kemper County slipping into Pickens County. So that is just going to stay southeast of Columbus, which is good news for the city of Columbus, but we still have other problems here that could develop in Pickens County, and there you go. I'm going to move our Columbus sky cam around real quick.
Yeah, this is probably the most impressive circulation right now. This is near Bennsville, south of Cooksville. This is going to cross in. This is northwestern Sumter County. Geiger sits here just off to the south and west of there. We've got Scuba back off your screen a little bit. The circulation's north of Geiger and Scuba. This is continuing to lift north and east. This is Cochran. This is going to, in southern Pickens County, this is going to come towards Cochran, Memphis. If you're watching us there, we want you in a safe place. And ultimately, as this continues to lift north and east, this will come towards Aliceville, McMullen. If you remember the Groundhog Day tornado from a few years ago, this is going to take a somewhat similar track through Pickens County, it looks like. And we do believe there is potentially a tornado there. Again, now moving into northwestern Sumter County, and then that's going to move into southwestern Pickens County here in the next few minutes. So if you're watching us in Cochran, Memphis, Aliceville, McMullen, we want you in your safe place right now, as well as the folks out into Itawamba County. If you're watching this over towards Academy, Tremont, and then western Marion County, we want you in your safe place. That signature, not as impressive now, but considering what that storm's done, let's just stay on the safe side with this thing until we're absolutely sure that that storm is done. Again, the bigger problem right now is probably this one moving into northwestern Sumter County. We're kind of far away from the radar site here. We don't have a clear debris signature, but we have had one on this storm in the past. So with that in mind, let's treat it like it's down, because it very well could be. Again, your circulation's right here, and that's going to continue to push off to the north and east. That's State Highway 17 right there that runs pretty much north-south, pretty close to the state line. This is right on Highway 17 right now. It's going to cross 17 probably just before it crosses into Pickens County. And then after that, it's going to continue to lift north and east. Cochran, Memphis, Aliceville, we want you in your safe place right now. As this thing continues to lift north and east, those are going to be the immediate areas of concern. And again, Keith, with the northern storm, we said it's cycling still at a minimum some very strong straight line winds in western Marion County and in southeastern Itawamba County right now. A lot of lightning with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Again, considering what we know this thing has done, there's no harm in getting in your safe place right now. We want you to do that and treat this like it's still on the ground, because this thing spun up really quickly. It could do it again. So treat it with some respect.
And just wanted to show the sheer swaths we've had over the last hour in time here. And I tell you, this stuff that has been moving on up through Monroe County, this has been the most long-lived activity. It rolled out of Atala County and then spun off a couple of things in around Choctaw County, and you can see one chute went up there into Chickasaw, and then another part branched off over here and lifted in through Monroe County, and that's been the last hour in time here. All right, so
Weather Service in Birmingham believes there's a developing tornado near Bexar.
okay, let's go and inspect that.
And so that's going to be the Marion County cell. So that's recycling
There it
now.
is.
That's going to
Yep.
cross I-22 near Bexar.
As we were mentioning, we were expecting this to cycle here, and we have that developing right near Bexar, and that's right along I-22. We're going to get the Jacob on the phone in just a quick second. We're going to give an update on this storm that is now, looks like it has recycled, and the folks in Birmingham, they did hedge and issue that warning, and now look, we got that new tornado to cycle east of where the old one was, and there it is. It's moving near Bexar, Scottsville. Looks like it's going to stay northwest of Hamilton, and this is moving northeast at 60. Is that what they're saying?